Ambassador Thrax Malachi adjusted his ceremonial robes as he entered the Galactic Council chamber, his scaled hands trembling with the weight of the revelation he was about to share. The assembled representatives from 47 star systems fell silent, their various forms of communication ceasing as the Zephyrian diplomat approached the central podium. The holographic display behind him flickered to life, showing the last known coordinates of the infamous Draconian Armada. "Esteemed colleagues," Thrax Malachi began, his voice carrying the gravity of someone who had witnessed the impossible. 3 standard cycles ago, we lost contact with the most powerful military force our galaxy has ever assembled. Today, I bring you the truth of what happened to the Draconian Armada. The chamber erupted in whispered conversations across dozens of languages and telepathic frequencies. The Draconian Empire had been the galaxy's supreme military power for over a millennium, their armada consisting of 10,000 warships, each one capable of obliterating entire star systems. Their sudden disappearance had sent shockwaves throughout civilized space. Fleet Admiral Corax Vale of the Centaurian Defense Force leaned forward in his crystalline exoskeleton. "Ambassador, our long-range sensors detected the Armada's approach to the Sol system." Then, nothing. Complete radio silence. "What did your reconnaissance teams discover?" Thrax Malachi activated the holographic display, showing a peaceful blue-green planet orbiting a yellow star. "This is Earth, the 3rd planet in the Sol system. Population, approximately 8 billion humans. Technology level, primitive by galactic standards. Nuclear capability, but no faster than light travel. No energy shields. No plasma weapons. Representative Exilla 9, her cybernetic implants glowing softly, interjected with electronic clicks. Then how did such a primitive world defeat the Draconian Armada? Their flagship alone carried enough firepower to crack a planet's crust." The ambassador's expression darkened as he manipulated the hologram, zooming in on Earth's surface. "That's what we thought too. Emperor Draconis had selected Earth for a routine conquest, a simple harvesting operation for their mineral resources and slave labor. The Armada dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the system, expecting total surrender within hours." The chamber fell completely silent as Thrax Malachi continued. "What happened next defies everything we understand about warfare, physics, and evolution itself." The holographic display shifted to show surveillance footage from the one Zephyrian scout ship that had observed the events from a safe distance. The massive Draconian vessels appeared in perfect formation, their obsidian hulls bristling with weapons that could each level a city. The humans' response was unexpected, the ambassador said, his voice barely above a whisper. "They didn't fire a single weapon. Instead, they did something that our xenobiologists are still struggling to comprehend." Admiral Corax Vale's patience was wearing thin. "Ambassador, please. What exactly did the humans do?" Thrax Malachi took a deep breath, his gills fluttering nervously. "They evolved. Not over millions of years, not through genetic engineering or cybernetic enhancement. They evolved instantaneously, collectively, and with purpose." The hologram showed Earth's surface beginning to change. Cities remained intact, but a strange energy began emanating from the planet, not technological in nature, but biological. "Our sensors detected massive neurological activity across the entire human population," the ambassador explained. 8 billion minds suddenly operating in perfect synchronization. But this wasn't telepathy as we understand it. They were sharing consciousness itself, creating a collective intelligence that spanned their entire species. Representative Exilla 9's optical sensors whirred as she processed this information. "A hive mind? We've encountered those before. The Kepler Collective operates on similar principles." "No." Thrax Malachi shook his head vigorously. "Not a hive mind. Each human retained their individuality, their personality, their free will. But they gained access to the combined knowledge, creativity, and problem-solving capabilities of their entire species. Imagine 8 billion geniuses working as one while remaining themselves. The holographic display showed the first contact between the Armada and Earth. As Draconian landing craft approached the planet's atmosphere, something extraordinary happened. The humans began to demonstrate abilities that violated the fundamental laws of physics. Humans on the surface started manipulating matter at the molecular level with their bare hands. The ambassador continued, his voice growing more strained with each word. They weren't using technology, they were rewriting reality through sheer force of will backed by collective understanding. Fleet Admiral Corax Vel stood up abruptly. That's impossible. Consciousness cannot alter physical reality. We thought so too, Threx Malachi replied. But watch what happened when the first Draconian troops made landfall. The hologram showed armored Draconian soldiers emerging from their dropships, weapons at the ready. As they advanced on human settlements, human offspring stepped forward to meet them. But these weren't the helpless primitives the Draconians expected. A human child, no more than 10 standard years old, approached a squad of elite Draconian shock troops, the ambassador narrated. The soldiers opened fire with plasma rifles. The child didn't dodge or seek cover. Instead, she simply disagreed with the laws of physics governing plasma dynamics. The footage showed plasma bolts stopping mid-air, their energy dissipating harmlessly as the child walked through them. With a gesture, she caused the soldier's armor to phase out of existence, not destroyed, but simply convinced to stop existing in this dimension. How? Whispered Council Leader Zephyz Omega, her tentacles writhing in distress. The humans had unlocked something we never considered possible, Threx Malachi explained. They discovered that reality, at its most fundamental level, is information. And information can be rewritten if you have enough processing power and understanding. 8 billion linked human minds provided exactly that. The holographic display showed the Draconian Armada's final moments. As more ships descended toward Earth, humans across the planet began working in unison. They didn't fight the ships, they convinced them they were something else entirely. Dreadnought-class battleships became butterflies, the ambassador said, his voice filled with awe and terror. Plasma cannons transformed into flower petals. The entire armada was systematically converted from instruments of war into harmless elements of Earth's ecosystem. Representative Korth 7, a gaseous being contained in a mechanical suit, expelled a stream of nervous vapor. The crews? What happened to the Draconian soldiers? Threx Malachi paused, consulting his datapad. This is perhaps the most disturbing part. They improved them. Every Draconian in the Armada experienced the same evolutionary leap as the humans. Their consciousness expanded, their aggression disappeared, and they joined the collective willingly. Joined willingly? Admiral Corax Vel demanded. That sounds like mental domination. Our analysis suggests otherwise, the ambassador replied. The Draconians retained their memories, their personalities, even their free will. But they also gained empathy, wisdom, and a broader perspective on existence. They chose to stay on Earth because, for the first time in their lives, they were truly happy. The chamber erupted in chaos as representatives began shouting in dozens of languages. Council leader Zephyz Omega called for order, her voice amplified by the chamber's systems. Ambassador, she said, once quiet was restored, what are the implications for the rest of the galaxy? Are we facing an invasion? Threx Malachi shook his head slowly. The humans have made no aggressive moves beyond their solar system. In fact, they've sent a message to the Galactic Council. He activated a new holographic display showing a simple text transmission. The message reads, "To our galactic neighbors, we mean no harm. Earth welcomes any who come in peace, but we will defend ourselves against those who would bring violence. Those ready to transcend their limitations. Humanity extends its hand in friendship to all conscious beings who choose cooperation over conflict. Fleet Admiral Corax Vel slumped back in his chair. An entire species that can rewrite reality itself, offering to help others evolve to their level. What do we do with that? Council leader Zephys Omega looked around the chamber at the assembled representatives. Fear, wonder, and uncertainty were written across every alien face and emanated from every non-corporeal being present. "We vote," she announced. "The question before us is simple. Do we classify Earth as a threat to be contained, or do we accept their offer of evolutionary partnership?" Threx Malachi looked up at the holographic display, still showing Earth a small blue world that had just changed the balance of power in the galaxy forever. The age of conquest was over. The age of transcendence had begun. The vote would determine whether the galaxy would evolve together or remain forever divided between those who sought power and those who had moved beyond the need for it. Either way, the universe would never be the same again.